That's my only concern.
Correct, but I know when I was sitting on that side of the table,
Right.
was that if you take something away, you're not getting it back. So my concern is, we take it away, we're not getting it back, and then if we do come up with the money, so.
I don't see that happening, because we've done.
And so the vote tonight is to set the course of eliminating the band program, you know, which brings heavy hearts. But if tomorrow the state decides that they're going to change the way that they're going to fund our school, and then there's that money that's there, then we could bring it back. If someone decides to write a check out there, then it's easy to bring back within the scope of this year. The problem happens if it happens 3 years from now. That's where the difficulty comes in. Because right now the schedule is already set, and the way that the band works, you guys know better than I do, is a student is pulled out of a class once a month, and that's how those sections are taught. So there's no manipulation of the schedule right now. So by taking this vote, we set the course so we can do the proper planning, and you know, God willing, something changes for the positive, then we can go back and restate it, you know, out there. And so the key is to do it before, you know, the school year begins.
Right.
And so I would say we have until.
But why not give it a couple months?
If things change, we could go back and change it next week. If someone writes the check tomorrow, it could change. And so we actually have until school begins, which is probably let's just call it the middle of August, is when we have that we could, if some funding comes in where these things could change, because we already have the band director. He's on the teaching staff, and so it'll be much easier to implement that. But if it happens 3 years from now, that's when things will become a little bit more difficult.
The word eliminate is strong. It doesn't mean we want to take it away. We don't want to take it away. It's not elimination. Okay, we just can't pay for it right now. So if it comes back, if we have it.
The motion is to eliminate. It's not to postpone. I mean, I think back to when this district lost Italian, and how many years it took us to get another foreign language back. And there wasn't any additional funding issued for it. That's when it became a deficit spending situation. Taking it away now, when there's a group that is willing to step forward, when there are other options out there to look at, to see if there could be a reduction in the fee from $600, even if it's to $400, that could mean the difference to so many families. If the group isn't able to come up with enough money to underwrite it, even if they're able to offer subsidies to certain families, or sponsorship to certain families, or if there's an instrument drive and parents are able to get donations for it, then they may change their mind about being able to fund it. I just think there are other options. And we all know, everyone knows, sitting up here, if we vote to eliminate it, it's not going to come back.
That's right.
That's not true.
That is
That's hypothetical. You can't.
So let's do this. So because there's no more public participation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the action item, and there's a thing called discussion under that action item, and then we can discuss this during the motion in a sense. Is that fair? Discussion. I need a motion to eliminate the band program beginning with the 2018-2019 school year.
I'll motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Okay.
First.
The comments coming through tonight. I'm a band person. My son's in band at Ridgewood. It's hard to hold up tonight, but a community has spoken with 2 referendum attempts. The community has spoken by showing up in very low numbers to meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And just by meeting this budget, the problem does not go away. There's going to be more cuts in the future. We're going to be in a deficit again. And procrastinating and putting it off and not dealing with the situation for a decade is what got us here.
Any other discussion?
We need to do things. This board's working very hard. We need to do things that are going to set us up for the future so that the whole community can be successful. And it's not just within these walls. Okay? If we continue to do things frivolously, spending money that we don't have, we're not going to be set up for the future. We're not going to be set up to be able to keep the other programs strong. And this community needs to be strong, these schools need to be strong, and this is a hard decision. And, you know, I play an instrument, and I love the band. I can name about 15 big band, well, maybe not 15, but about 5 or 10 that I love, big band musicians that I love. So this is not easy, but we can't do things, we can't postpone things that are going to set us up for failure in the future. It's happened long enough. I mean, and so we need to be serious. In the future is different. Tomorrow is a different day. And if everybody gets together and there is an actual movement and there's people who donate money and offer their time to teach, or there's a club, maybe there's a club that comes, a lot of programs go to clubs, then that's great. You know, we have to be serious and we have to do things that are best for the future. And that's all.
I understand the urgency to balance our budget and to provide our teachers and our community with as much knowledge and time to make preparations. I understand that. I just feel that there are other options that we should be looking at prior to. There's no reason that we have to vote on this tonight. There's no reason this can't be postponed for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. There's no reason for community. And you know what? We've scared the community. We tried a referendum and it was all no. But you know what? We're penalizing the children because the parents aren't coming to meetings. And I'm sorry, my child should not be penalized because I didn't come to a meeting. Your child, your grandchildren should not be penalized by losing the entire program without examining every avenue possible to keep some semblance of this program. I'm the first one who's going to vote to say, yes, we need to have a balanced budget, but that's only after every avenue has been pursued to see that we can provide as much for our kids as we can.
I think that I would agree with your statement where we need to explore all options, which we've done. It's been 3 years since we've been talking about it. It's been 3 years, since we've been looking at different options, and this is unfortunately, this is the only option that we have today. If things change tomorrow, then that would be great. Then we could reconsider it. But we don't have any other option today. Is that we've had people come to this board. We had board members state how they're going to start foundations and raise anywhere between $1 million and $4 million. We've had people from the public saying that there's grants that are out there. We should apply for them. There's a lot of great ideas out there. But the bottom line is that none of us have gone out extra in the sense of saying, how do we do this? How do we write this? We have already empowered the administration to look at all the different possible schedules out there. Looking at going down to one of the options that we talked about is doing a before school and after school program. The option says that if you do that, you really won't have a good band program. And so that's why that was eliminated. But that we have to move forward. We need to be fiscally responsible and make the right decision. And if the circumstance changes tomorrow, I'll be the first one to put it back on the agenda to reinstate it if the situation changes tomorrow. But today we don't have much of a choice. Everything's been exhausted. 3 years. 3 years we've been looking at it.
We're not giving up either.
I'd like to say that it speaks volumes to me that out of the 181 surveys that were sent out, that 68 people didn't even bother to respond. That speaks volumes to me. We've had 3 special meetings over the last 3 weeks, and this is probably the largest turnout aside from last week where it was mostly teachers. Okay, that speaks volumes. There's 181 kids in the band. Okay, that should be at least 181 parents that should be involved in this process. Where are they? They're not here. They're not here. They haven't emailed us. Some have, but 181 haven't. Actually, there's probably closer to 400 or 500 people when you consider their households. Where are those people? Where are those people when the referendum was out? 510 people voted for the last referendum. Where are these people? Now, at the end of the line? No, I respect all the efforts, but I don't think it's enough. I really don't.
So, roll call, please.
Mrs. Coletti?
No.
Mr. Stover?
Yes.
Mr. DeJuda?
Yes.
Mr. Deanna?
Sadly, yes.
Mr. Bellafiore?
Yes.
Mr. Adelsavage?
Yes.
Mr. Hudson?
Yes.
Motion approved the elimination of the band program beginning in 2018-2019 school year. Board comment?
Excuse me, sir, I need to go to my daughter's inauguration. Excuse me.
Go ahead.
As I started in the last time I spoke, it's not ending. We had a great turnout. I do appreciate everybody being here for band. We did not have these numbers over the past couple of weeks when 21 teachers were chosen to be not renewed. 12 teachers were ripped. The board has to find a balance of the education and the activities to keep the whole school going. And it doesn't have the support. The community is changing. They don't show up. They don't back the schools. Their own parents who have children in the schools don't show up. So how can we expect the other community members that don't have children in the school to be part of it? There's a lot of people here that grew up here, went here. It was a different time. It was a different time. But judging by all the cuts that are being made, the changes that are being made, it has to be obvious that the school is out of the financial resources to try to reach the community. All we have left is our own feet, our own phones, and our own time to talk to our neighbors, let them know that this is real. And even meeting this budget and solving this problem, again, I know I sound like a broken record. This does not end it. We will be back here again very soon if we don't get support for this district. For those that have friends in the community, there's another district just released information for a referendum. I ask you to do the math. The number of students in that school, what they're asking versus the number of students in District 80 and what was asked. Another one out in the suburbs, same exact situation as we were in 2 years ago. Same letters going home. Mount Prospect, same thing. Deficit reduction, they're coming in, they're going through the same stuff. Whether you call it underfunded from the state, whether you call it not high enough taxes, not enough community support, whatever it is, we don't have it right now, and this is a reality, and it's going to take everybody to get back to the way this community used to be, working together to save it. And without that, what can we do? What do we cut next time? 33 teachers, almost all the programs. The largest program just on the chopping block tonight that services the most kids in this community. You have to get to your neighbors. This community has to help each other out. There is no light at the end of this tunnel without help.
I would ask that if you're looking for information, please don't rely on the internet sources that claim to know that they have the information. Come to the meeting, get it firsthand yourselves.
This vote wasn't from the lack of love. I think everyone on this board loves music and wants to keep the band program. This vote was about being fiscally responsible and trying, because our community has told us that we needed to be fiscally responsible, we needed to have a balanced budget. And so that's why we voted the way, that's the reason I voted the way I voted. I need a motion to recess at 7:13 for 5 minutes. All in favor say aye, all opposed say nay. Aye. Motion carries.